everyone, welcome to Resident Indigo channel. Today I am doing a video on the big elephant in the room. Or should I say, the big lion. Alright, if you guys haven't already heard, Disney has already officially announced that there's going to be a sequel for the live-action Lion King. I know technically Lion King already has a sequel, I mean the animated version, and a lot of you probably are assuming that, that the sequel will probably be based off Simba's Pride. First of all, I don't know. This movie is in such pre-production because not only did they announce that there will be a sequel, the way that they announced it wasn't actually by saying there's going to be Lion King sequel. They actually announced it by saying that they've already picked a director for the sequel. And the director is, ladies and gentlemen, Barry Jenkins. In case you guys don't know who Barry Jenkins is, which totally judgment-free zone, guys. Barry Jenkins is the director of Moonlight and also was the director of If Beale Street Could Talk. He also wrote Moonlight, by the way. I've never watched If Beale Street Could Talk, so I cannot discuss like his chops based off of that. But I did watch Moonlight, and he did win the Best Picture for that movie, and he 100% deserved that. He didn't deserve the way he won.
Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture.
Moonlight won. Come on, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. I'm afraid they read the wrong thing.
This is not a joke. Moonlight has won Best Picture. Moonlight, Best Picture.
100% he deserved that Oscar. In case you guys haven't seen Moonlight, I'm going to give you like a quick synopsis. It's the story of an African American man who deals with a community that does not embrace his homosexuality. That's like the very brief synopsis. There's also a lot going on in his community. It's such a layered movie, and of course when you win Best Picture, you don't just win it for the storyline, you win it for like every other thing, including the director style, and not to disregard any of his directorial style or directorial choices. Honestly, that wasn't what captivated me about the movie. It was the storyline, because the way that he portrays, like I said, that simple synopsis, because again it's very layered, was beautifully and elegantly done. I mean, you follow this protagonist the whole story, and you feel for him, and you feel like you're in his shoes. I mean, of course, that definitely does deal with the cinematography, but I also think it's the way that the story was written, which is why I can actually honestly say that I am very excited for the Lion King live action sequel. Because again, I saw Moonlight, and the way that he brought that story to life and just did that whole story. Not only was the story beautiful itself, it was also the way he portrayed the story was also beautifully done. So I'm hoping that by the fact that Disney has like announced it and proclaimed that this is the director, they're also hopefully saying we're going to be giving him creative liberties and taking the Lion King story in a whole new journey. Anyways, the director Barry Jenkins, he tweeted a particular article that announced this, and in that particular article that I will be linking down below, it states that it's a rumor that Barry Jenkins is going to kind of pull a Godfather Part 2. First of all, let me say, let's stop the video real quick. If you haven't seen the Godfather series, what is wrong with you? I know I said this is not a judgment-free zone, but I am judging if you haven't seen it, because I've actually met people who have never seen The Godfather, and they were judged harshly, and I'm judging you harshly right now. So, after this video, go watch all 3 Godfathers, and then you will understand what happens in Godfather Part 2. Anyways, without spoiling too much about Godfather Part 2, and just like again kind of quoting the article, suppose Godfather Part 2 deals with Michael's, which is the son, ascending into like his new role as the Godfather, but also going back into the origins of his own father and how he became Godfather. Kind of sounds, and what that's alluding to, which they also say, is that they're kind of going to go with an origin story of Mufasa and then follow Simba and intertwine Simba's and Mufasa's storyline, which personally I think is an amazing idea. And I don't know how many of you have actually. I don't know how many of you like got chills during that scene in like the animated. I'm talking about the OG '90s animated. The one on my shirt scene where like Mufasa and Scar are like the first time that they meet, the first official dialogue when he's like, "Why weren't you at my son's ceremony?" And he's like, "Because I was next in line." Like, that dramaticness of it all, and it just made me want to know more, and also to see Mufasa's regalness, and to see him being an endearing father. Well, again, keeping his regalness. I want to say regality. I'm not sure if that's a word though. Like just throughout the whole movie, even during his spoiler alert death. It's not a spoiler, right? We see him keeping that like elegance throughout his whole character. So to see how he becomes that lion/man, I think would be beautifully done. And of course, some of you are like, "Girl, aren't you expecting a little too much from a Disney movie?" That was my error with Mulan live action, because I expected that. I don't think that they'll go too dark in this movie. In the sequel, I don't think that, because that's definitely not Disney style. They've clearly proven that with Mulan, when I thought it was going to be darker, but apparently it wasn't. No one dies. Okay, let's not get into that. Go check out my full review of Mulan up here. Anyways. But for Lion King, I do think, because again, Barry Jenkins is going to be in charge of it. He's going to be doing the director. He's going to be the director for this role. I do think he'll go there. Now, another thing that kind of puts into question right now is the fact that, again, if Barry Jenkins is doing this, will this also be a musical? Because I know a lot of live action movies that Disney has like done and like portrayed, they've taken away the musicals, but for this particular, the live action for Lion King, they did keep the music in there, and which was one of the big critiques that like fans had, was the fact that they ended up taking Scar's song away to give Beyonce a solo. Honestly, if you ask me, did I like the Lion King live action? I actually did. It's not something I've seen again since I've seen it in theaters, because I went to go see it in theaters. But it was definitely entertaining. The animation was spectacular. Clearly that's what Disney wanted to do with this. They wanted to kind of elevate that type of style, and they really wanted to show what they could do, and it was just pretty much a way for Disney to show off, and they did it successfully. And literally all they did was copy and paste Lion King, which that's all they needed to do with Mulan. I can't stress that enough, and I will never get over that all they needed to do for Mulan was copy and paste. Did they do that? No, they didn't, but they did that for Lion King, which again gives me hope for Lion King 2. Now, I don't know if Barry Jenkins at all is even considering continuing Simba's Pride, expanding the Simba Pride universe, while also adding elements of Mufasa's origin story. I really don't know, but it's definitely something that would still be interesting. And like I said, I'm getting a little excited. I'm definitely more excited than I was about Mulan, to be honest with you, because I really thought that for Mulan, they were just going to copy and paste the movie while adding cool action sequences, which they didn't do, but the action sequences were cool. Versus this one, I'm actually hoping that they expand the Lion King universe and that they add another element, an element that I think all of us have always considered but never actually got to see. So I'm gonna be very following along this Lion King progression, and definitely gonna be listening in and tuning into all the rumors and being like, yo, what's up? And just like stalking Barry Jenkins and anyways, but like I said, I trust him. I trust his judgment. I don't know if it'll be musical, and weirdly enough, because of how I'm thinking this version will be, weirdly, I don't want it to be a musical. I don't know if I'm the only one that's like also thinking that as well, or if that's just my own thing. Everyone's like out there hating me, like, no, Disney's a musical. But like I said, that was like one of the critiques that out of like Mulan, people were like, why wasn't the musical in there? Weirdly enough, I actually like that the music wasn't in there in Mulan, because again, it was a different tone, which I think which I'm assuming Barry Jenkins is going to try to do with Lion King 2. So if there's any music, let's not hate on it. Let's give it a chance. Again, this is like pre-production. We don't even know who the cast is. We have no idea if Beyonce's coming back as Nala. We have no idea if even Daniel Glover is going to reprise his role as Simba. We don't know anything. All we know is that Barry Jenkins is the director and gives me a whole new hope. Alright, you guys, thank you for watching your Resident Nerdy Girl channel. Go check out my other videos. Go check out my Mulan rant in expanded version. I will definitely be following up with the Lion King thing, so definitely subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with anything new findings that I find. Also, go check out the rest of my go check out other stuff on my channel. And thank you for watching Resident Nerdy Girl channel. See you guys next time.